I wanted to ask you, so we're here to talk about your virtual brand, Buddy V's Cake Slice. Can you tell us the concept behind the brand?
Absolutely. I always believe in technology. I like kind of trying to stay ahead of the curve on what's going on. And when I thought of cake slices, cakes in general are something that actually freeze really well. So because you got to think about it, it's sponge, right? So the water molecules will stay, and then when you thaw it, they release back, and then the sponge soaks it up like a sponge. So you could really get a really moist, delicious cake by freezing it and thawing it. So what I did is I took it to the next level and I invested in matte packaging, which is where we control the atmosphere inside the package. So it's really sealed and it gives you a prolonged shelf life without putting any preservatives in it. I really went the packaging route to make sure that we're going to have the quality integrity of a cake that you would get at my bakery, and it was a way for me to grow my brand all over the country, and really an easy thing from a virtual kitchen to execute, because you're not really depending on someone at the restaurant to cook the burger or cook the pizza, or what, you take the cake out and you give it to the customer and then it's ready to go.
And for fans of you and fans of the show, what are some of the flavors that they'll be able to order from the cake slice?
So we have our three most popular. We have our confetti, like a birthday cake one. We have our chocolate fudge, which is like death by chocolate. Really, really good. And then our most popular, the rainbow cake.
Now, I hear that the cake slice is currently available in 42 states, including a recent Los Angeles launch. So it feels like you're really taking over the world. So congrats on that.
Well,
Um, I do have to ask, you've been so open, I feel, about the accident you suffered with your hand. How are things going and how has recovery been after such an accident?
Well, honestly, I am pretty good. I'm probably not going to be a hand model, but I got my strength back. I got a lot of my capabilities. Say I'm probably 95%. I got to get one more surgery to straighten this finger out a little bit. But from what it was to where I am, I'm thank God. It was crazy.
And what has it been like getting back into the kitchen after the accident? Were there any hurdles getting back into action?
Well, it was so scary because it happened in like September, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't really know what my functionality was going to be. It was probably March when I felt like I was going to be okay, because I had 5 surgeries. And thank God for Dr. Carlson and everybody, HSS, and my occupational therapist, Dina. Like, they worked with me and really got me, where I had to be. But before February, I could not, like, my hand was like this. Like, I could not bend my fingers all the way down. So I couldn't do this. And, was that last surgery, the doctor's like, listen, she's like, I'm going to release the tendons and the scar, and you're going to be able to move. And then I remember that first day coming after surgery, and Dr. Carlson's like, make a fist. And I was like, wow, like I could pipe, I could squeeze, and I had my strength back. So it was pretty amazing.
And I know when that accident happened, so many fans shared well wishes for you online. Was there anyone who reached out who surprised you or maybe meant a lot?
No, I listen. There was so much. Honestly, everybody meant a lot because there was so much love from all over the world, and just amazing to see the support. And honestly, it was just a look. I could have lost my hand. I could have been a lot worse. I might have never been able to do what I do. So it was a really serious injury, and thank God I'm feeling good and I'm back in the swing of things.
Well, I'm glad everything seems to be getting better for you and that you're on the mend and your hand is great to go and you're back in the kitchen and everything seems to be going well. Now, I do have to ask, you have a lot of celebrity fans, both of your cakes and just of you as well, since being on the show, including Gigi Hadid. Can you share anything about your friendship with her?
Well, I got to be honest with you. When I met Gigi, she was the sweetest, nicest person, and she was actually really a Cake Boss fan. When I first saw her, she did like the show opening to Cake Boss, She's like, I'm Buddy and I'm the boss. Like, this is Carlo's Bakery. And she knew every word of it. She watched it as a kid growing up. And you know what? It was just so heartwarming. It made me feel like, wow, like, how many people's lives you touched all over the world. And yeah, listen, I couldn't say nicer things. And Gigi's probably one of the most beautiful women in the world, but she's even more beautiful on the inside as a person.
I read that you made a cake for her baby daughter, Kai. What was it like working on that cake? And do you have any plans to maybe make her next birthday cake?
Well, that's it. Now we're family, so it's birthdays for life. Uncle Buddy's got to make the cakes. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's always a lot of fun to make cakes for people that, especially that appreciate it, and I appreciate them. So yeah, it's just a wonderful thing to be able to do that.
Now, you are the cake boss. Was there ever a specific celebrity order or moment that you realized you had made it when you'd gotten a cake order from maybe a specific person or an event?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'll never forget it. It was when I made a cake for Oprah, and it was on the Oprah Winfrey show. Going back, I mean, this is early Cake Boss going back, and my mom used to watch Oprah every day, right? She was like obsessed with it, and I remember telling her, and again, I'm going back like in the early 2000s, 90s. I remember being a young guy and telling my mom, one day, Ma, I'm going to make a cake for Oprah, and I'm going to take you on the show, and you're going to meet Oprah, and I did. Like, it was like after Cake Boss, I went on a show, I met Oprah, and the best part about Oprah, like a Gigi, right? Oprah was the same person off camera as on camera. She was the sweetest and nicest. She made me, my mom, everybody feel so welcome and loved. And I actually cried on set because I was saying it. And it was just an emotional moment that, I promised something to my mom and I was able to deliver, and it was really cool because she was probably not only the ultimate celebrity, but just such a great person.
Now, jumping back to Buddy V's Cake Slice, can you tell us for fans who might not know where they can order this or how they can order this?
Yeah, I mean, we're available on all the Uber Eats, the DoorDash, and all the different platforms like that. But you go to BuddyV'sCakeslice.com and get more information if we're in an area near you. But we plan on growing and being a lot more virtual kitchens, which is such a crazy idea. When people told me, they're like, oh, you don't really have a storefront, but then people bring your stuff or your cake out of there. I had to like wrap my head around it, but it's a brilliant idea. And from my perspective on a cake slice, I feel like you're still getting the same quality, integrity that you would get at my bakery. The only advice is when the cake slice comes, you want to eat it at room temperature. Sometimes it comes out of a refrigerator. You want to let it sit. That cake is best eaten at room temperature. And I promise you, it'll be like it just came out of my bakery.